Hey, what's up? It's Earth Rim Roamer, and now that I've posted all the leftover Pakistan videos, I wanted to make a sort of commentary about Pakistan. I have so much to say about it, only good. I've tried to think of negative things about it. I've come up with like one or two little things that could maybe even the odds, just not to like pump up Pakistan's ego like totally, But Pakistan is hands down the coolest country out there. There is so many different experiences you can have there, just so many varieties of things that you can do there, whether you like crazy, chaotic, busy cities or mountains that go to the skyscrapers lengths, just unbelievable experiences you can have in this country. And I just wanted to talk about it. I was there for a whole 4 months, and I've been, you name it, whatever city it is in Pakistan, I have been there, and probably more than once. I started from the bottom. I went all the way to the top, all around here, came down here, did all of this, came down again to Karachi twice and Lahore twice, did it all again, all the areas around it by Iran and etc., all the borders of India area, the whole country. I've been, you name it, I've been there in Pakistan. And I'll touch first on just the variety of experiences you can have in Pakistan. The whole country has just so many different sectors of like cultures and things you can experience, mainly in just like little things like the Kalash Valley, for example. Like nobody would ever know this place existed, I swear. It's just this little corner of Pakistan close to Afghanistan. And there's this old, outdated group of people called the Kalash people living up there, and they were having a dance festival when I went, and it was just so cool. The media kind of labels the Kalash people as this pagan group and everything, which in my opinion makes it even cooler. But when I went up there, that was one of the most memorable things I did there. It's just all these people living in these old, outdated communities, and I met a Kalash guy at my hotel, and he took me through all these different people's houses, and he was like, "You're getting the real experience." I didn't record any of it because the Kalash people really don't appreciate cameras in their face, which is understandable. But the Kalash Valley, and then right below the Kalash Valley is Peshawar. Peshawar and Kalash Valley were definitely my favorite places I went in Pakistan. Peshawar essentially is like practically going to Afghanistan. Everybody is more like Pashtun, like the Pashtuns in Afghanistan there, and the women wear like the full burqa instead of hijab. Like you can't even see their eyes, which to some Westerners, I'm sure that sounds weird that I would like that, but I thought that was really neat. And all the Pashtun people there, and the bazaars and the mosques in Peshawar are just out of this world. As a person that's really into Islamic architecture and culture and visiting mosques and just like being like, whoa, Peshawar, highly recommend it. I drink a bang so I can get all this information out of me because there's a lot. And over near Peshawar and Kalash Valley, there's so many mountains, like Himalayan mountains and etc. You can get close to you can go to the China border from here. Typically what people do when they go to this mountain area is they do the Pakistan motorcycle ride. They rent a motorcycle and they drive a motorcycle for hours to different towns like Sost, Pasu, Gilgit, Skardu, you name it. And it took me about 2.5 weeks to do the whole motorcycle ride, but you're just for hours and hours and hours going through the most surreal scenic views of your life. Like, I think Kyrgyzstan is pretty close to Pakistan too, and I know that Kyrgyzstan is very well known for its mountains, and they must those mountains have to intersect with Pakistan because those mountains up there in North Pakistan, they are something else, my friend. Like, I don't think you could get better views on Earth than you can in North Pakistan. Maybe Kyrgyzstan is the only place I could think that could beat Pakistan. I've never been there, but I've seen pictures and just been like, wow, it's like comparable to Pakistan. Just cold desert. What else is up there? Just waterfalls, streams, so many little the coolest thing about it was not just the mountains. To me, it was just hours and hours of going through these villages, these Muslim villages, and like it's literally like you are in Skyrim and just got a like motorcycle randomly somehow dropped in Skyrim, and you're just going through these villages and everybody's like living on the land, by the land and off the land. And my God, dude, coolest place. Just words can't even explain how cool North Pakistan is. It's insane. So anyways, yeah, I'm insane. So anyways, below the northern area, at the bottom of the north, you got Islamabad, which is Islamabad, I'd say was like my least favorite experience wise. I made a lot of really cool friends in Islamabad. Yeah, I'm sure at least one of them's watching this video. What's up? Islamabad, I had a lot of fun there, but as far as like things to do, there really wasn't a lot to do in Islamabad. They have the Faisal Masjid Mosque in Islamabad, which is, I've posted I'm sure a picture or a video of Faisal Masjid. It's the mosque that, I don't know how to explain it. It's got the pointy ends on it. It's shaped like a tent, kind of. Really neat mosque. Really, it wasn't my favorite, but architecture-wise, what a heck of a design it was. Whoever designed Faisal Masjid has some seriously cool architecture skills. Aside from Faisal Masjid, there's not a whole lot going on there. They have a hostel there though, in a hotel where you can meet any foreigners that want to come to Pakistan, which is cool because Pakistan only has 2 hostels, and the second hostel is in Lahore. Lahore is a city kind of in the middle of Pakistan. And when I was there, I was saying Lahore was my favorite, but I've changed my mind to Peshawar and Kalash Valley are my favorite. But Lahore is so freaking cool. Like there is just so many different things you can do in Lahore as far as like things going on in the streets. The bazaars are just wild. There's just so many cars and people and so much to do at the bazaars and see. And they have the Badshah Mosque there, which is a super cool mosque. It looks like a mini Taj Mahal is what they call it in Pakistan. I've posted, I'm sure, a picture or two or videos of Badshah before. I never made a video really about Badshah, but Badshah Masjid was so cool. I'm trying to think what else is in Lahore. There's a lot of things I did there. I had a really good guide named Sajjad that I met at Lahore Backpackers. If you go stay there, Lahore Backpackers is a good place. And he took me on these rare tours around Lahore, and we just went to so many different places I feel like nobody's ever been. Like on the countryside of Lahore, we went to like this carnival that I made a video about. We watched the Shiites do their, and then we watched the Shiites hit their backs with knives, which was insane. What else did we do in Lahore? Saw some really neat dancing. Met a lot of transgenders, which was interesting. I never knew that Pakistan had so many transgenders, and I'm not like really into like meeting transgenders. I'm just saying it was like really surprising. He took me to this place where they were all hanging out, and it was just sort of a unique experience. And then down in the south, you have Karachi. Karachi is really neat too. I enjoyed Lahore better, but Karachi as a city is definitely better of an experience than Islamabad. You got like a big mall, beaches with like camels and horses, and some pretty interesting mosques. There was one mosque, I went there to this one mosque called the Tuba Mosque. The very first day I was in Pakistan, in Karachi, and I did like Salah there. It was the first time I actually accurately did Salah in a mosque. Like the last time I was in a Muslim country, I couldn't do it because my Arabic wasn't good enough, but I've been learning Arabic like for like a year now, just kind of as a side project. I'm mainly focused on Russian. That's been a huge goal of mine, is to be fluent in Russian in the next few years. It's so fucking hard. Yeah, I did Al-Fatiha. The guy asked me if I could like even, I remember walking up there and I was about to do Salah, Al-Fatiha, Salah, and he was like, can you even like do that? And then I had to like recite like all the rakats and stuff, which I can do all of them now. I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. Subhanakaluma wa bihamdika wa tabaraka smuka wa ta'ala jaduka wa ilaha khairak. Bismillah ar-Rahman rahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahman rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Adina sirata mustaqim. Sirata alladina an'amta alayhim. Khairul maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. Qul huwa Allah ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalad wa lam yulad. Wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. And so on. Ashhadu alla ilaha wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasulah. Assalamu alayka wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alayka wa rahmatullah. I can do it. It feels good to be able to do it. It took a long time to learn. And that's not even all of it. That's like a shortened version of it. But anyways, when I would recite that to people, when they would confront me about like, you know, being in there trying to do Salah, and I would recite that in Arabic, they'd be like, what? Like, you know how to do all that? So that was kind of satisfying, because learning Arabic is like insanely hard, and being able to be at a basic level feels pretty good. So even though they don't even really speak Arabic that much in Pakistan, it's Urdu, but still like Quran and Islamic architecture appears to be in Arabic also. So anyways, not to get too off topic, I really enjoy in general visiting like Muslim countries. Ever since I visited Egypt 2 or 3 years ago, and just had this basic Egypt plan to see the pyramids, which the pyramids are really cool. But then I went to like Islamic Cairo and like Luxor and Aswan, and got to see like all the mosques and the Muslim, the Islamic culture and everything, and was like really drawn to that, and was like, man, I want to see more of this. Like, I want to see more of this, you know? So this time when I traveled, I had plans to see more mosques, Islamic culture sort of things. And you can get that very well in Pakistan. Pakistan has so many cool mosques and things going on, Sunni and Shia activities all over the place, both. And it's a really neat experience getting to go over there and see stuff like that. I get questions sometimes from people back here why I want to go see stuff like that. And you just have to go see it for yourself, dude. There's a reason why the majority of Westerners that go over there end up converting to Muslim. And that reason is unexplainable. You just got to go there. You have to go there. And I'm not necessarily a Muslim, but I feel like a part of me is, just because of how drawn I am to that whole, I guess you'd call it culture. That whole community is just so awesome. And I know Westerners usually associate being Muslim and Islamic culture with being a terrorist, which is unfortunate. But that's not what it is. That's such a small majority, a tiny little fraction of what's actually going on in Muslim countries. So anyways, as a person that's really into Islamic activities, you can get a whole taste of it there and learn a lot too. People are super open to teaching you and helping you. I had like a mentor in Islamabad that really helped me get my Salah skills up and some of my basic Arabic skills up. He sort of took me under his wing, and we would just spend so much time in the masjids and everything, and then we'd go eat some biryani afterwards. And he's a really good dude. He lives in Islamabad. He's Pakistani. So yeah, speaking of people, I'll move from talking about the cities and the mosques to the people in Pakistan, and they are all super nice. Like I've met so many Pakistani men and young adults while I was there. So many of them, they were all very nice. They all would even made so many Pakistani friends. They all would even just pay for my stuff and take me around and be my friend. And it's a great experience. The people in Pakistan are some of the nicest people that's around, I swear. I've tried to sit here and come up with negatives about Pakistan to even the odds a little bit, not to just boost Pakistan's ego like to the sky. One of the negatives for me personally is the way you're treated as a celebrity, as a Westerner, which is kind of annoying. Like, I'm sure for most people, they secretly enjoy that. Like, people that would be into like vlogging and stuff. Like, I feel like a fucking narcissist holding this camera like this. Um, that kind of attention got a little old. I'm just a person with different skin color, you know, like, I guess they don't see a lot of Westerners there. It's understandable, but after a while, when you have just groups and groups constantly coming up to you, just like you're freaking George Clooney or something, it kind of, your ego gets like pumped up a little bit. So that was kind of one of the only annoying things. And also, I guess like another annoying thing was, this is kind of funny. Like, I kept, there was a point in Pakistan where I shaved my head bald. I had no hair, and I was consistently on the streets being called Johnny Sins by Pakistani men, mainly like young adults. So many times. This isn't just something that happened once or twice. Like, it's something that happened probably, like, I was called Johnny Sins in Pakistan like 30 or 40 times probably by like complete strangers, which, if you don't know who Johnny Sins is, he's like a porn star in America. Just because I had a bald head like Johnny Sins and I was white, and like that shit got like so annoying after a while. It just, not to be a pussy, but it like made me a little uncomfortable that so many men were associating me with like this sexual figure. So that was kind of annoying. It was funny at first though, but that's really the only negative things I could think of about the country. As far as the women in Pakistan go, I met a good bit of them. In Pakistan, Pakistan's a very conservative Muslim country. You don't really just go approaching women in Pakistan. It's extremely frowned upon, practically illegal. So in places like New Lahore, maybe you might have seen the video where I am at the table with all the Pakistani girls. Places like that, Islamabad, like in like F6 and F7 and all that, you can approach women, but it's still like frowned upon. Like, anytime I did, there'd be like people walking by like what are you fucking doing, you know, which is understandable, and it's a good thing. Really holds that society together. You know, they're not going to turn into a bunch of fucking whores like they are here. So you know, that's great that they do that there. But the women were typically like pretty nice. The ones that I talked to, they seemed like, I'd say like I'd give it like a 75% ratio of them. 75% of them I came across just instantly, like under the surface. I could just tell, like, yeah, that this is wife material. Guess how many wife material girls I meet here? Probably like -5. So that's a really nice thing about Pakistan. What else could I say about Pakistan? Oh, there's so many things. Covered people. I suppose another big thing would be safety. A lot of people definitely, before I left, and just in general, it's the country has a bad reputation because mostly people over here would think when you'd say Pakistan, their mind reverts to like deserts and terrorists. Deserts and terrorists. That's all like is in Pakistan, you know. Nothing bad ever happened to me the entire 4 months I was in Pakistan, up and down and all around and down and back up and back down again. I never had a single sketchy thing happen to me, ever. I've heard, though, this year they have had a couple of terrorist attacks. Once again, it comes down to wrong place, wrong time. I know, like in Peshawar recently, there was a suicide bombing at a mosque, which is unfortunate. These things just happen, you know? So, yeah, I mean, is it safe? I'd say at like 99%, yeah, but these things happen, you know? It's all about wrong place, wrong time. There is just no way to define what dangerous is. Like, just like I said twice, wrong place, wrong time, suddenly that country's dangerous, you know? So, yeah, safety-wise, nothing bad ever happened. It was totally safe, you know? I will say one thing, though, that was pretty sketchy that happened to me. I was in Peshawar when the Taliban takeover happened in Afghanistan, which is extremely sketchy place for an American to be, in Peshawar, when you're 45 minutes down the road. This Taliban takeover is happening literally that day when the Americans got killed at the the Kabul airport in Afghanistan. I was in Peshawar, and I had a whole group of Pakistan military men come to my hotel and tell me that I just shouldn't be in the area while this is happening. So I left Peshawar. That's the only sketchy thing that happened. And I would have, it was just a coincidence that I was there when that happened. And when I came back to the US, when I went through customs at the visa checks to enter the country, I actually had a group of private investigators waiting for me at the customs, and they took me to an interrogation room, the same interrogation room I went to at JFK after I traveled to Egypt. And they had been keeping up with me, and they said that they had seen I'd gone to Peshawar when the Taliban takeover happened, and were like asking me questions. So that was a wrong place, wrong time, in a non-dangerous like situation sort of thing right there. So that was the only kind of sketchy thing. I wasn't in any danger. It was just the fact that I was so damn close to Kabul when that Taliban takeover was at its peak. So aside from all that, man, Pakistan, highly recommend visiting. So many cool experiences can be had there. I'll never forget it. It was an awesome time. And man, Pakistan, you should go there. These are my thoughts on Pakistan. I'll do one more video on Iraq when I'm done posting the 1 or 2 videos I have left over from Iraq. And then I'll probably not do a commentary on any other countries, because these two, Pakistan and Iraq, are pretty controversial for an American to visit. So it's worth making a commentary about. But yeah, the other countries are not really like worth, I don't feel like making a commentary about. So I'll make a video about Iraq. I got to go to the Imam Hussein walk there when I was there, which was my favorite travel experience I've ever done, you know, mashallah. So until that Iraq video comes, I'll just post more leftover videos from Iraq and etc. Hope you enjoyed this video about my thoughts and full commentary on my Pakistan experience. See you later.